We're back, boys and girl. I can't imagine there's more than one girl that watches our channel. But anyhow, we're back. We got the green light from the customer. Expensive little module from GM, $406 and some change for this little guy. Yeah. They said, get her done. Get her done. So, one thing that's interesting, I'll tell you a little story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue. They were two young lovers with nothing much to lose. That may not even be the correct lyrics. But here's my story. What are we talking about? This guy got sidetracked. Oh, this vehicle's been sitting for, maybe an hour since I talked to her to the time we put it on the lift. I fired this pig up and guess what? No more power steering light. The power steering seems to work. Ooh. Too bad we didn't have a lift when first happened. We might have been able to find that one with visual inspection. It's all crusty, of course. I don't know if we're getting that shield. Hopefully it comes with that shield. Not that it really does much, but yeah, like I say, I fired it up. Airbag light's still on, but I noticed the power steering worked, and all it's done is sit. You know, nothing else has changed. I'm going to spray both of these connectors with some Diagnostic and let that do its thing while we're waiting on Napa to get here with the module. The module is coming from my local Chevrolet dealer, but my boys at Napa, they go pick it up for me because the Chevy only delivers once a day. So this is what we use, some Diagnostic D5. Okay, so some of you from outside the Salt Belt may not even be familiar with this product. I was talking with Sherwood at Royalty Auto Service from the Royalty Auto Service YouTube channel. A good guy, super smart, but he is from the South, and they don't see corrosion. So we were talking about it, and he was actually working on a car, a BMW that had some corrosion because oddly enough they stick the computer down inside of a bowl and it filled up water and corroded, and he was asking me what I use to clean it because it's something very uncommon for them. And I thought, wow, that's weird, man. That's all I do is chase the green stuff. Oh, where was this thing made? Right in Korea, just like the car. GMC America, or Vin-K, South Korea. Some of these junkers are made straight in China, actually. GM and their Chinese cars. Let's see. Ooh, there it is. It feels like Chinese packaging. Like it came from Amazon. Look at that. Fancy. I did have to take this off. Of course, as soon as I touched it, that thing broke off. We'll stick this baby on here. I'm not liking that. Do these even have, oh, look at that. There ain't no threads in there. They're blank. Awesome. There's threads in that one, and the old one. There's no threads in this one. Are these a self-threading majig? I think so. They feel triangular shaped. I believe these cut their own threads on the way in. Look at all the money they saved. Yep. So now we've got some threads in there, all right? If it don't fit, force it. It's the General Motors way. Oh boy. Used to be a diehard Chevy guy. Used to be. Way back in the day. A long time ago I was, but times have changed, folks. So there's that. I did come back and toothbrush that thing a little. Sprayed her out a little more. It does have a contact enhancer in it, supposedly. I got that rubber messed up on there now. Yeah, it must be I do, or... Yeah, let me get a light. I think I might have blow nozzled that rubber back a little bit. The weather pack connector there. Did I? I don't know, that one looks pretty decent. What the world? Well, there's a half hour of my life I'll never get back. You can get it, folks. Eventually. I am not unplugging it. I was gonna say, I better make sure that gray thing's back in. Okay, so we're gonna stick this back on here. I think this is zip tied one way or another on there. I don't know if it's 100% necessary. Lots of little zip ties on this thing. Let's see. Alright, so torque both of those to factory specs. And then there's this nut here in the front that needs to be torqued to factory specs also. Very important. Okay, now that they're both torqued, make sure our wire is still free here. And it is. It has a little trough that it runs through under there. Okay, so that's all good. I did have a little black zip tie on there, but honestly, what's it gonna do? The wires ain't going nowhere. Let's set it down. This is that spring insulator. It was hanging down. We'll set it down. We should be able to talk to this little guy now, and then it does have the little programming logo on it. So we're gonna have to program it. So we're gonna use the factory GM TechLine Connect for reprogramming this. And then we'll let it go through. It's already identified the vehicle. I'll go through and select the correct control module here, and we'll get her going. I think I did poke in service data earlier. You're supposed to pull the information off the original one. Of course, this one doesn't communicate. So current calibration unrecognized, and it gives the new numbers. So we'll get this going. I'm going to double check in service data what actually needs to be done here. I should do it before we click too many buttons, but let this go do its thing and then see what else you have to do as far as the setup is concerned. All right, we got the big thumbs up, said it was successful. All right, we want to proceed with the same VIN. Now, as I was waiting for that, it goes fairly quickly. That only took about a minute to do that. Now, we're going to go back into rear diff control module. Now, there's a preparation for removal, programming, and then setup and configuration. Now, I was poking through service data here, and it says, warning. Let's see here. Let me shut that door because it's blowing wind on you. I don't want you guys getting chilly. If replacing the rear diff control module, the module needs to be programmed with the rear differential clutch service calibration value. This value is a number that's stored in the module and stamped on the rear diff housing. The number must be programmed into the new module using SPS. If communication cannot be established, the stamp number on the rear diff must be manually programmed into the new module. If replacing the rear diff and keeping the old module, the module will only need to be configured with the number stamped on the housing using a scan tool. Interesting. Okay, so to replace it, access SPS on supported controller, select rear diff clutch control module, prepare for removal, which we can't. Okay. And then at the end of programming, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, well, we better read it. We better not just go blah, blah, blah on this, because it says on supported controllers, remove instructions on the controller screen, select rear diff control module programming, and then setup and configuration. And then we have to do the okay. I'm just kind of glancing through this here. I think we're gonna have to go in. I don't remember seeing this on the scan. Well, you know what? We didn't see it on the scan tool because we couldn't talk to it. So I think if we go here and we go to setup and configuration, I believe that is only if we've extracted the data, and we didn't. We didn't because we couldn't talk to it. So I believe from what I was reading there or glancing through, you do prepare for removal, you do programming, and then you do setup and configuration. Unless this will allow us to manually type in whatever secret code we need. Rear different control module setup. Please select one more of the following functions and hit next. Did you replace the mechanical system? We're going to say yes, we did. Turn the ignition on. We're going to hit next. Hopefully it asks us for this code. Read the TTD service code from the stamping point below. So this looks like the viscous coupler. Well, let's go look for this code. I don't know how many digits it's supposed to be. Perhaps it said. Did it say in service data here? Just says the value, number. Hey, it's that guy. The 1-digit rear differential clutch service calibration value. The 1 digit. Are we really looking for a single digit? Well, let's raise it up and see if we see this TTD service code stamping point. See if we find anything under there that looks like, oh, actually that's the module. Okay, let's raise her up. Top floor, boys. We are numero 20. Number 2. Interesting. Okay, we've got module numero 20. So let's type in the number 2. We was happy with that. We hit next. Please turn the ignition off. Now we gotta let the car down. We will reach in here and unpress the button. Where you at, button? Ignition is off. Oops. Ignition is off. Next. And then we wait. Next. Ooh. Says we're successful. You're going to be successful in life. Please wait, perform ECU. We're finished. We did it. We did it, boys and girl. That's it. Let's clear the codes out of this thing and see if we can talk to it now, and then see if it fixed our power steering issue, and see if we can clear the codes out of that module. Yeah, auto ID'd, so that's good. All I did is plug in the, I'll tell you, let me close that door and see if that helps our glare problem here. Summertime's kind of a pisser to do videos at SMA. All right, so auto ID'd, so that's good. We'll hit OK. We'll do the fault scan. Sometimes after programming, you can have lots of codes and lots of modules. All right, so let's just glance through to see what we have report-wise. Passenger presence malfunction. We had that initially. Oh, good, look at this. In the power steering, not requested, not requested, not requested, not requested. So it looks like we'll be able to clear our power steering codes now. Lost comm with rear diff, obviously. Passenger presence sensor performance, signal invalid, which we had before. And then we have this LIN bus here, which, like I say, not uncommon to get, you know, bus codes, stuff like that, after doing a programming. So we're going to clear these. Good, the power steering. That's so weird. I'm curious about that. Okay, we're going to shut it off, start it. I'm sure we're going to have an airbag light come on. I just can't fathom that that has anything to do with any of this business. Any of this monkey business. So let's shut her off. Fire it up. Oops. Okay, we've got good steering. That's good. We do have an airbag light on, just as I suspected. But interestingly enough, we have good steering. So let's go read the codes out of it right now and see what we have left. What's up, Mrs. O?
Hi. That's your kitty.
Oh, did you make it? Are you back from the vet?
Oh, the poor baby.
I was out.
Poor kitty.
She's probably gonna run away tonight.
Probably will.
Poor Luna had a vet appointment. Let's see, we're gonna have that passenger classification. And then we're gonna go to the report. Yeah. So, like I say, passenger presence sensor performance. I'm willing to bet this lady had a light on before this thing came in. Maybe she just didn't notice it because it's not a, it doesn't come up as a big message like the service all-wheel drive or anything. It's just literally the red, that red light. So maybe we'll take a minute to look into it and see what the dealio is. Okay, what's the matter, huh? Come here. You don't trust me now, do you? Mommy took you to the vet. She's not gonna trust me for about a week now. I did a little poking here on service data, folks, with this passenger presence sensor performance invalid signal or implausible signal. Looked in service data, there's really no testing to it. It's basically just powers, grounds, which we know we have because we can communicate with the module. And then that's it. Check the connectors for damage, corrosion, make sure they're seated, replace everything. It's all sold as a big assembly. It says here, service as a kit, the seat foam module and sensing mat they're all one assembly. So it sounds like you buy the seat bun for your butt. And then after you put it in, you do a passenger presence re-zeroing. So it has the ability to set some other codes in that module, but it says here, to generate the code that we have, passenger presence module monitors the sensor continually. If the sensor has an internal malfunction, it sets this code. That's it. So pretty cut and dry. So the light 100% was on before, or it broke on the tow truck ride over here. You know what I mean? Which it didn't. So I'm gonna give her an estimate on replacing the seat bun. I did take a look under it. There's only 2 connectors under the seat. The one's a 3-prong connector. I looked at the wrong diagram here. I looked at the correct diagram and I found the connector just to make sure. This is the one for the roof. Here we go, passenger presence. So I looked at this here. Not that you guys can see it because you're way unenhanced and zoomed out, but yeah, it's just this passenger presence module, 3-wire connector. It's a 4-cavity connector, 3 wires in it. That's it. So really there's nothing to do. It obviously has power. I can talk to the passenger presence module, and the presence seat sensor is all built in, so who cares? That's it, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know the follow-ups are always not that fun, not as fun as the diagnosis, and when we did this one, baby, we were doing it in the dark. But we got it done either way, and the lady fixed it, and happily, fortunately, it fixed the power steering too. I don't know why that goes haywire with that module offline, or why that affects it. I did do some poking, and there's actually a service bulletin on it that says that this is a symptom of this corroded, what do we call it, that module, that rear diff module. Evidently it can cause a dead battery. A, we had that. It can cause loss of power steering. B, we had that. And C, it'll cause your service four-wheel drive light, which I assume we had that. It didn't say anything about taking down the whole network, but it did specifically mention about goofing up the power steering. So interesting. Don't know why. Don't know, but I know it's done. And you guys aren't going to be done until you go down there and leave me a comment. Questions, comments, Insta, Facebook, you know. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.